Hello everybody, my name is Ms. Rodriguez. I am Head of Languages at Twigs, and today I'll be leading the session for Spanish, and I'll talk through what the differences are between AS Spanish and A-level Spanish. I hope you've had a chance to read why we feel languages are so important in the world of today. So languages at Twigs are all the same format for all French, German, and Spanish. So we're all A-level experienced teachers, and we're all language specialists. And some of us, like me, are also native speakers. A-level groups will always have two teachers who will share the delivery of the curriculum, and we feel that works best because that way we play on the strengths of each of the teachers. Pupils, luckily, will have at least half an hour of conversation every fortnight with a native conversation assistant, usually in pairs. Sometimes if the timetable doesn't allow it to be pairs, it will be threes, but no more than that. As I just mentioned briefly, so modern languages at Twigs can be studied as a full A level, so the 2-year course, or just as the AS level, which means that they will take an exam after year 1 and get the AS qualification. This has been a really popular choice in recent years for our pupils at Twigs. So obviously, pupils taking languages at GCSE, Spanish at GCSE, will be familiar with all of these language skills. Few of the differences are in the listening. Instead of sitting in a big hall with a recording being played to a huge cohort of pupils, actually you get your own sound file. You will get a CD and a CD player, and you can play the track as many times as you want within obviously the allocated time. Reading similar to A-level, also including some literary extracts. We will get on to writing in a little bit. And translation, again, you won't be surprised to hear that it's into and out of the target language. And we will also spend a little bit of time talking about the format of the speaking exams. So if you study Spanish just as a year 1, so as an AS, these are the topics you will cover. Some of the topics we obviously have covered at GCSE, but instead of just focusing about yourselves, you actually talk very much about the culture. So in Spanish, obviously, we will be linking all of these topics to Spain and Latin America. So you have the topic of family. We look at how families in Spain have changed over recent years. We talk about the education system and the world of work. And then the second set of topics are the ones that I think are the nicest for us in Spanish. So music, obviously, we can hear, we will learn the differences between the classical Spanish music versus all the new sounds that are coming out from Latin America, which always our pupils really enjoy. Obviously, media is a big topic nowadays. How do young people communicate with each other in Latin America and in Spain? And then probably my favorite topic out of the whole lot for year 1 is the cultural heritage. So in this topic, we will really delve into festivals. We will talk about traditions. We will talk about what makes Spain and Latin America slightly different to obviously other places in the world. I always find that pupils find that these topics are accessible to them because they already have ideas of their own, being young people in general. So when it comes to writing, I said to you I would talk a bit more in depth about writing. So writing is very different at A-level. Instead of writing essays about certain topics, we actually are going to be studying a film. The film in this case that we've chosen is called María Llena Eres de Gracia. It's a Colombian American production, and we decided to go for this film because there were so many miniseries being launched on Netflix, in particular series like Narcos and El Chapo that had so much success that we felt that this would be a really appropriate film for our pupils, since these were topics that clearly were interesting for young people. The movie talks about a young 17-year-old girl called Maria, who is a Colombian girl, who unfortunately is lured into this world of drug trafficking, and basically how she manages to survive. It is quite an interesting story, and it sees the world from her eyes and a very different world. And it always prompts some really interesting discussion amongst our pupils. So if you were taking the AS exam, basically this would be your exam. The speaking element would be based around the themes that I just talked about. If you then move on to A2, so not A2, sorry, the full A-level course, you would see two further topics. One is the topic of immigration, so the diversity and the differences it brings to both Spain and Latin America. We talk about the positive contributions of immigration, the pros and cons, and maybe the areas where controversy can emerge between the immigrant population and the host country. It's obviously a very, very topical theme. And what's really nice is that pupils can actually see, look at a lot of articles and they can read on newspapers things that are very, very current. Then we would move on to the second big topic of year 13, which is the historical topic. In this case, we will look briefly at the history of the Civil War, how it started, how it emerged, what happened during that conflict. And then obviously we will look at the years of the dictatorship under Franco, so the Franco years in Spain, what life was like for people, and basically then moving on to that transition period from when he died to what is Spain like today, the democracy and the European country that is today. It is a fascinating topic, this historical topic, and I've always felt that pupils don't really know very much about it, and they feel very enthusiastic about learning it. So in the writing in year 2, as well as writing about the film, you would then also have to write about an essay on literature. This is a book that I've taught for many, many years. It's a Mexican novel called Como Agua para Chocolate. It is a hugely popular novel. It was translated into many, many different languages. And the setting, the backdrop is the Mexican Revolution of 1910. And we meet these characters. The plot is basically about this girl who's called Tita and her struggles to actually become independent. The style is very, very different. So the style is written in Latin American style called magic realism, which kind of blends in this idea of fantasy and reality. And what I think pupils find very attractive is the fact that the running theme throughout the novel is cooking. So each chapter has a recipe, how it's made, list of ingredients. And also what I've always found has helped me deliver this novel is the fact that it also has a film. It was made into a film, and so what we tend to do is we will go through each chapter and then basically watch how the film is portrayed, or how the chapter is portrayed through the film, which pupils always find quite interesting. It is popular fiction, so it's fairly straightforward. Obviously, it's got Mexican terminology, so there's quite a lot of vocabulary that we have to learn. But overall, I feel that pupils really engage with it, and I think it's a novel that they don't forget, because it's quite unique. So the speaking, if you did the 2-year course, would be quite different again. It's when these A levels were redone, where they were changed, one of the main areas that the government was keen on is that for languages, pupils would undertake this research project, which basically would give the opportunities to our pupils to choose something that they were interested in. Literally, it can be anything. It can be anything that's just linked to a country or a community where Spanish is spoken. Now, what we always encourage our pupils to do is to try and link it to maybe one of the other subjects that they're taking for A level. So here I've put together a few titles of IRPs that have been done by TWIGS pupils. As you can see, they show a range of topics that they've researched. So you can see some are in Spain, some of them are in Latin America. And as you can see, some of them are historical, some are geographical, some are political. So it just lends itself really well to pupils feeling in control of what they want to talk about and what they want to research. As well as this independent research project, they would also discuss briefly, about 5 minutes, a card with the examiner, which would again be linked to those themes that they've covered in year 1 and in year 2. We were lucky enough last year. I think we were the last trip to go abroad at TWIGS. So we do 2-year biennial trips. So every 2 years we go to Andalusia, the region, southernmost region in Spain, and we do this cultural trip, which is I find I love it every time I go. I think it just shows Spain's true colors. So we go to Malaga, we go to Cordoba, Granada, and Sevilla, and obviously we have guided tours of the main monuments. So you can see up at the top we're there in the Mezquita de Cordoba, and then the bottom in the right corner there we've gone to watch a flamenco show in the caves in Sacromonte in Granada. Pupils find it really enthralling. They feel that they can talk Spanish and speak Spanish when they go and order food, and I think it's a very enjoyable trip. So hopefully, if COVID safe, hopefully in 2022 we would be taking the next trip. As I say, it's always a joint trip, lower sixth and upper sixth together. So what do our leavers go on to do? Last year, we had a huge cohort of pupils who went on to do languages at university. I've put this slide together just so you can see how it's not just going to study just purely languages. You can actually combine them with lots of other things. As you can see, things like English literature with French, or you can see English and Spanish as joint honors, or politics and international relations. One of I guess proudest moments was last year when one of our top pupils got to Oxford University to read something I'd never even heard of before. So she's gone to read law with Spanish law. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is that, languages, you can study them not just to continue that language as a degree, but actually as a combination. And that actually universities do like this combination quite a lot. So hopefully my talk will have made you realize that A-level Spanish is not just about the language. So it's about obviously the culture, the literature, the history, the current affairs, the geography, the politics, the sociology, and the film studies. And if now I would like to show you a couple of videos that some of our current and past pupils were kind enough to record for us. So I'm hoping you will enjoy seeing some of them. So this first one is one of our pupils who is actually now currently studying languages at the University of Bath. So she did a little recording for us.
My name's Alice and I studied German and Spanish alongside history at TWIGS sixth form, and now I'm studying German and Spanish with a module of European Studies at the University of Bath. So I found both courses really interesting during sixth form, probably because they're both really diverse. So we studied a broad range of topics relating to either Germany or Spain or Spanish speaking countries, and then we also got to do the independent research project, which was really good because we were able to sort of tailor it to our interests. So I did mine, my Spanish one, for example, on the controversy surrounding Franco's burial, and that was really good because I was able to sort of mix a bit of my history with Spanish. So I really enjoyed doing that. In addition, a big bonus was that we were able to spend a lot of time speaking to native speakers, and that really helped to boost confidence. In addition, the study of a book and a film for German and Spanish was really good, because we do a lot of sort of things like that at university, like analysing and picking out film techniques, so I felt really prepared for that. And in addition, I'd say that the teacher at Twigs really helped me, well, the modern languages teachers really helped me to like boost my confidence during sixth form, and that's been really good for university, because you have to be a lot more confident and you have to be a lot more independent. So yeah, it really prepared me well. So I really recommend considering doing a language for A-level.
So that was Alice, and I'm going to show you a video of one of our current pupils, who is going to tell us a little bit about the choice of the novel Como Agua para Chocolate as the chosen novel for Spanish.
Spanish students, we study Como Agua para Chocolate, a novel by Mexican author Laura Esquivel. The book combines themes of magic realism with romance and the societal and familial oppression of young women in early 20th century Mexico. And I think the choice of novel is beneficial for us linguists who are kind of new to Spanish literature, and it's a brilliant introduction to language techniques such as metaphors and symbolism, but it presents them in a really engaging and thought-provoking way to make them a little bit simpler. And the novel is also permeated with romance and plot twists, so it remains gripping throughout. And set against the backdrop of the Mexican Revolution of 1910 to 1917, Esquivel's novel gives linguists the skill of increasing their fluency through her use of colloquial phrases, as well as providing an insight into a crucial event in Hispanic history.
So Lucy here is also studying English, so actually her literary skills are pretty strong. And I think she wants to go on to studying English at university as well. And just finally, I would like to show you a video of some of our pupils who have enjoyed film a lot, and that actually has made quite a difference to their studies in A-level and sixth form.
So what I've enjoyed most about studying film in a foreign language is that on watching our film, it was very interesting how it contrasted to popular English and American films with a lot of experimental and creative techniques. So it's often more, it's very different to the sort of blockbuster American Hollywood style of film that they have now. And I found that most of the foreign films I've watched were very thought-provoking, entertaining, and like they're often very funny as well. And this goes to show that there's so much out there to be enjoyed and explored by learning a foreign language, and it really opens your mind beyond our sort of English and American art that we tend to like feed into now, because we're sort of scared to like branch out into different cultures. And I really enjoyed the foreign film so much, in fact, that I decided to pursue watching another one for my independent research project, which we take in year 13 as part of our A-level.
Yeah, so studying a film in a modern language has obviously been a fantastic way to improve our language skills, both in terms of understanding and listening, but it's also been a fantastic opportunity to experience cultures different from our own and experience cinema beyond mainstream Hollywood. Studying a Spanish film has been an enriching experience, as it has given us the opportunity to really see a contrast between the classic American films to a foreign language film, and a contrast in a range of cinematic techniques. I actually loved Mare Dentro so much, which is the film that we've studied this year in sixth form. I loved it so much that it actually prompted me to start up a foreign film society in sixth form, during which we've watched a range of foreign films, anything from the Latin American film Voces Inocentes to the French classic Jean de Florette. And films are a fantastic way to really open our minds to the diversity of different cultures.
Right, so I hope you've enjoyed the presentation. I hope this has given you a few ideas on what language or learning is about at Twigs, and especially Spanish. I'd be delighted to answer any questions that you may have, so please do contact me if you do have any. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope that you may consider Spanish as one of your options. Thank you.